A Republican senator recently blasted President Biden for being too woke. But do the voters feel the same way? Okay, you're going to have to answer the voters feel the same way. All I can look at is he's killing the Democrats coming up the midterms. Now, voters, maybe there's other polls that show it. But the good news to me in this story is woke is really on its way out. I mean, this whole culture, cancellation, that whole idea is really become so offensive to so many people that these, snowflake types that are still living in woke world, it's kind of disappearing on them little by little.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that people on the left are not doing what so many on the right want to accuse them of all the time.
Okay.
Like Biden's a lot of things, but woke, I'm not seeing that coming out of this guy. He is not shoving anything down our throats the way that the Republicans would like it to be. So when
this story came from the Daily Caller, right?
Right.
Okay, and so their conclusion was that this isn't true, that he's not as woke, because that's not what I read.
They do think he is.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, based on what I see, and based on what I see online, because I spend a lot of time on social media, and you don't see it to the degree that you did a couple years ago, right? And
do you think it's disappearing? I mean, do you think that you're reading people are so frigging tired of it? You got Bill Maher attacking you, you got late night comedy attacking, to where this kind of snowflake image of wokeness, I mean, they're kind of perceived as, childlike, spoiled brats that have no ability to think critically. That if they don't agree with it, we're going to tear the statue down. If I don't agree with the person that's coming to speak at my university, we're not going to let them come speak. You see, that is so dangerous, man. And people are seeing it.
Well, it is, but where they're seeing it come from is mostly on the right.
Okay.
We have Republican talking heads that have been melting down for weeks now because the Little Mermaid is going to be black. They have done segment after segment. They have millions of people up in arms because, oh my God, the Little Mermaid's black. Those are the things that Republicans are freaking out about, while people on the left are saying, it's a mermaid. It's not a real thing. Why are you freaking out?
So you don't really think there was any wokeness hysteria that took place over the last couple of years? I mean, I'm curious.
I mean, to a degree, people have been pushing what would, I guess, be called woke. But when you see the attacks from the other side, when anything kind of bursts their bubble, it's that hypocrisy that really makes a lot of people say, well, wait a minute, what actually is going on here? Is this being crammed down our throats, or is this a bunch of reactionaries trying to get clicks and views?
So you think the Democrats don't really lead that image? You think the Republicans have come in and created that image for the Democrats?
Yes, and now that is a problem with some voters. Obviously, you're not going to attract anybody from the far right when they've created this image. But some people in the middle may think, oh my God, all I hear about is woke, even though it's all coming from the right.
So are we just seeing the headlines if you read the headlines, it's almost as if you have this class of people, call them the woke group, whatever the hell that is. And they believe that the American public is too simpleton to understand that there's different sides to every story. Therefore, they're so simpleton and so stupid that we as the woke group must tell them what they can think, what they can see, what statute should be up, what book they can read. Because that's really, if the Republicans have accomplished that, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, and I think they have. And I think the media has obviously helped push this a lot. And so it's not necessarily that it's a thing that's happening, but it's a thing they've created the image of happening. And even if they can't necessarily prove this, like in this statement, from Senator Kennedy over in Louisiana, he doesn't lay out any actual thing.
But let me read it. Okay, this is from John Kennedy of Louisiana. He's the guy that's always testifying, always has a pretty good shot on both sides. It says, well, it's not exactly a newsflash that President Biden has appointed thousands of uber wokers to his administration. Now, first of all, you don't believe that's true. I don't know if it's true or not.
I just don't.
Okay, wokers are easy to recognize. They hate George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Dr. Zeus, and Mr. Potato I mean, that is a pretty good line, though.
Well, the thing is, it's the Republicans who freaked out about Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss. They wanted Dr. Seuss books off the shelves.
All right, well, let's work our way through this. It says, Kennedy told guest host Trace Gallagher, wokers respect no one's opinion but their own. Wokers think that America was wicked when it was founded, and it's more wicked today. They think that most Americans, ordinary Americans, are stupid, ignorant, and racist misogynists, and that now the wokers think that they are the only smart people left in the country. Okay, that is the sale.
Yeah.
That's the Republican sale.
Right.
Now, the reason your point is so important, and the reason your point is so precise and I think accurate, the more I'm listening to it, is this is the talking point.
It is.
And it's coming from the guy who usually does the talking for the, for the right, and that's Kennedy.
Right. And so when he goes out there and he sells it to them saying, they think you're an idiot, they think you can't
Yeah.
understand this,
Yeah.
they'll believe it, and
Yeah.
they think these things are true, even though, again, he's pointing out things that there was a panic over on the right, not on the left over.
I saw some good news here. I did took a look, a couple of other articles. It says that when capitalism steps in and they try to take this thing called woke because they think they can sell more Coca-Cola, they think they can sell more product. When that starts happening, it's like, what is the one with Coca-Cola, We Are the World? That they came in with that deal and they tried to take the movement that we could all just get along, and they killed the movement. So the same thing's happening here with capitalism trying to adopt woke. We're a woke corporation. When that starts happening, woke starts disappearing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you've seen it time and time again through history.